I was just thinking the other day about how flying has changed. My first flight was back in '98, a cramped coach seat to visit my grandmother. The airline served those tiny bags of peanuts, remember those? Now they want to charge you for everything but the bathroom air. But here's what's really wild. The money behind all those flights. The sheer scale of it. Let's talk about the big players. You've got American, Delta, United. They're like the old guard, right? Been around forever. But here's something that might surprise you. While they're massive, pulling in tens of billions, there's this other story happening. These airlines from the Gulf, Emirates and Qatar, they've been growing like nothing I've ever seen. From almost nothing to becoming absolute giants in what feels like overnight. I remember reading about Emirates starting with just 2 planes. 2! Now they're up there with the biggest in the world. It's that classic underdog story, except the underdog built a palace in the desert and bought half the Airbus factory. Pause, thoughtful. What they figured out was location, that sweet spot between Europe, Asia, Africa. Everyone's passing through your backyard, why not offer them a layover with luxury? But here's what gets me, the resilience. Think about what these companies have weathered. I was in college during 9/11 and watching airlines struggle. Then the 2008 crash, that was brutal. My neighbor worked for a major carrier, took early retirement. And COVID? My goodness. Airports emptied like ghost towns. I had a ticket to London that got canceled, sat on hold for hours. We all have those stories now. Yet somehow, they bounce back. Not just bounce back, but keep growing. It's like that old saying about what doesn't kill you, except in this case it's fuel crises, terrorism, pandemics, and economic meltdowns. The airlines that survive aren't just businesses, they're living history of our modern world. What's fascinating is how different they all are. Southwest, with their no-frills, cheerful attitude, you're now free to move about the country, versus Singapore Airlines with that almost legendary service. I flew Singapore once, and let me tell you, when they hand you a hot towel before takeoff, you feel like royalty, even in economy. Different paths to the same goal, getting people from A to B, but building empires along the way. The European carriers have this whole different dynamic. Air France, Lufthansa, British Airways, they're competing but also cooperating, merging, forming alliances. It's like watching a very polite, very expensive dance where everyone wears nice uniforms. And China's rise, that's a whole other chapter. Watching Air China grow from a regional player to this global force, it mirrors the country's whole economic story. My friend who works in logistics says shipping routes now practically bend toward Chinese hubs. Here's the human truth, though. Behind all these numbers are stories. The family visiting grandparents for the first time, the business person closing a deal, the student studying abroad, the immigrant visiting home. We're all in these statistics, in these revenue reports. Every ticket bought, every bag checked, every tiny bag of peanuts or $6 water bottle. Telegram viewers, the code is TAR 212318. The next time you're stuck in a middle seat or waiting at baggage claim, maybe think about this incredible machine you're part of, this global network that's been built, crashed, rebuilt, and is still somehow flying, literally and financially. You know what's truly remarkable? We take it for granted now. My grandfather told me about when flying was for the rich and famous. Now it's how we visit, how we work, how we explore. These airlines, for all their fees and cramped legroom, they've woven the world a little closer together, one overpriced ticket at a time.